Yeah, we might as well just start when you're ready, Elena. Looks like Roddy's going to
Recording is
be late.
starting,
I'll just work him in when we can.
and we are going good. I need to move my icon of Baps over here next to me. There we go.
We are live, though, yes?
We have started.
All right, excellent. Welcome, everybody, to another session of Keepsakes. This is going to be our fourth mission within Keepsakes. And at the end of our session today, we're going to talk about maybe a schedule change, but we'll talk about it after our session. Uh, just a quick bump over. We have Socks the Fox, Made the Utility Knife, Raindrop the Doll, and Drifter the RC have been traveling through the forest looking for a runaway doll mm, who they believe to be named Anne, who is redheaded. And you've only really seen the back of her for the most part, who her brushy red hair flapping in the wind as she's run away. Um, And as you have tracked her through the woods and come across a number of the forest creatures, you have found a sort of mixed bag of reactions from the animals within the forest. There is the owl, which has been attempting to apparently abduct members of the group, as far as they've theorized so far, and the a badger, which actually helped them by allowing them to come into his underground home underneath a tree to avoid the owl, so as to apparently just to jade the owl, as far as the characters have put together so far. The characters emerge on the other side of the tunnel network that ran under that tree and have come to a stream. They decided after much debate that they couldn't come up with a way to cross the stream that would be safe. So they turned and went north as the badger had originally suggested, and found the great blackened tree, its branches gnarled and twisted, stretching up into the heavens, and the lightly dimming, not so starry sky as morning is coming on. Just as the twilight dissipates, though, a large form has landed in the tree, uh, setting its huge wings ruffling as it sort of pulls them in slowly, just sort of eyeing the party with still semi-luminescent eyes. Ooh. The group probably freezes and looks up at the owl. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna tell him to go away.
You tell the owl to go away.
Go on, get.
The owl doesn't seem to be particularly moved by this particular statement. We're not going to make a chance roll on it. It just doesn't seem like it's going to leave for you asking it to. But uh, everybody, this is the start of a new
Sound.
uh, scene. So we're going to go ahead and roll out a 1d10 to add some stuff. And remember, we have been playing for a little while now, so you've probably accumulated some amount of stuff, unless, of course, you've been beating around a lot, which I don't think anybody has. So you can remember that if you have an excess of
Okay,
stuff,
hold on. Apparently we don't have any sound, and I don't know why, because
we have no sound. Ooh.
it's coming out. It says it is.
Okay, everybody can hear me, right?
I
Okay.
keep forgetting I need dice.
As long as we can hear each other, we know Discord is not the issue.
Yeah, it's saying it's OBS, but I have to go check in on OBS.
I had a 6.
Excellent. If you roll a 4, let me know. You rolled a 4, you get to roll another one. And then if you roll a 4 again, you just keep getting to roll it. 0, so that's 10. Very nice. 14 stuff and 1 roll. So as a actually, I'll have to end up saying that once we're back on live. So just let me know when we got sound again.
Yeah.
Now, I did send you a couple of messages, Jason.
Okay. Yeah. Concerning that, I did read those. I was just going to talk to you once we got on here. We can continue going. As I mentioned before, let's go. Let's go with what we got right now, and then if we start a new adventure and you continue to use raindrop,
Okay.
we'll switch it up. That
Yeah,
way, you stay consistent. And you're not just changing abilities out in the middle of the game.
we've got
Okay.
volume.
Excellent.
No, it's
Yeah,
on Twitch. We were having issues, I thought.
Okay, so we're not having issues. We got volume now on Twitch.
I
Okay,
guess.
sweet. All right. Well, as long as we can be heard. All right, getting back on track. All right, so as I was saying, we just started a new scene. So everybody's rolled out the stuff they're going to start out with. Anthony managed to roll a 4, so he's got 14 stuff. If you have a large amalgam of stuff that you've collected, which you should, because I don't think anybody's been beaten half to death yet. Um, yet.
Yet.
So if you've got a surplus of stuff, remember you can spend 9 stuff for 1 point of chance, permanent chance that you can add wherever you want. And you can do this as many times as you want, as long as you don't reduce yourself to less than 1 stuff. Everybody follow?
Yes.
Sound good? All right. Excellent. So that's just laying out some groundwork, and we got our stuff. We're ready to go. The owl is not perturbed by Drifter's demand that he go away. It just sort of sits there in the branch. Um, it seems a little tired. Like its movements are a little sluggish, and its feathers are ruffled. And it just sort of spends some time kind of preening itself without moving very much. It shrugs its shoulders. The feathers kind of unruffle themselves. Its
Is
feet,
it
its
like
talons
sunrise?
grip and ungrip on the branch. It is the sun is now rising. Exactly. It is the earliest the earliest moments of dawn.
Hmm.
hmm.
So he looks tired.
Well, maybe if we don't bother him, he won't bother us.
Maybe he's gonna
Well,
go to sleep because it's dawn.
I think we need to try to keep close to the base of the tree so if it flies down towards us, I can zip around the tree and maybe stay away from it.
All right, the owl seems to watch you as you're making plans. It doesn't seem to be moving. Occasionally, it turns its head to the side and just stares at you at odd angles. You notice it of all the characters on the ground, it is watching Socks and Raindrop the most.
You know, I'm gonna turn to it. Hey, bird,
Who?
have you seen a red-headed doll like them? Have you seen another like them?
Ooh, yes,
I'm surprised this doll is
yes.
so, or I mean, this owl is so calm about us. Given
Did you take her too?
Ooh, no,
Do you know
too
where she
quick.
went?
She
She
got
was too
away.
quick. Trying to make a nest out of her too.
The owl flaps its wings for a second, and for a moment you think it might launch off the branch at you, but then it settles back down.
Hmm. So we know she got away from him.
The owl's eyes begin to droop just a little bit.
I think it's, I think the owl's gonna go to sleep soon. I think we can just wait it out.
Hey, can you
Well,
hear?
I can hear.
We can hear you.
Well, do yeah. I believe that Raindrop's got her key is a house key, so she would be able to create a place of protection for them.
Okay, where would you like to make that?
Um, at the base of the tree. Just basically until the owl falls asleep, our intention would be to have protection from him and any other creatures.
This is an interesting that you chose this tree. Um, as you approach the tree, roll chance. There's not going to be any penalty for success. You won't lose any chance over it.
Now we're because it's a start of a new scene, is it?
It is a new scene, so you
Okay.
go up one on on the chance start. So if you are at 20, you're now at
I
40. If you're at 40,
rolled
you're at 80.
80.
Okay.
Do
I
we roll
literally rolled
our
an 80.
do we roll our stuffing?
Well, what kind of chance were you at this time?
I thought if we started a new scene, we started back up at to the top.
Not at the top. One, you go up one step.
Okay. I'm trying to remember.
So if you were way down, you could still fail.
I I can't remember if I was at 27 or at 41 because
Okay.
I
Well, you rolled 80, so
misunderstood it.
either way that would be a failure either way. So,
Eight
okay, so
zero? No,
there's
80.
yeah. You will if you rolled an 80, then you're way above both 47 and or 27 and 41, right?
Well, if I was at 41, then I would go to 80. If I was at 27, then I would go to 41.
Oh, okay, I see.
But
Well,
I normally jot it down. I just didn't realize I misunderstood it. So
Well, we will say you're at 40 this time, and so 80 would be exactly enough for success. We were only just determining whether or not there was a space under the tree for you, so that's why there was no penalty for success. Okay, so basically there is a gap under the tree, and as your characters move forward and look up at the tree, there's just enough room, some space like a crawl cubby for characters your size to be able to kind of squeeze into, if you decided to do so. It looks like maybe some animal or the other has burrowed its way a little bit under the tree's roots. It's nothing like the badger's home where it was all underground, and it's not spacious in any word. Um, but if you feel like if you use your key here, you can feel the resonance that this could be a little temporary home. As your characters move forward, um, the owl becomes restless. Its claws start to open and close tightly on the branch, and its eyes open wide.
What's it gonna do to
I'm gonna,
stop us?
I'm
As
gonna
it
look
goes,
up at him and turn my lights on bright and slam my doors.
The owl, the owl seems startled by this and flaps its wings. It's even more awake now.
Oh crap!
What does your group do?
well, I'm staying under the security of the house key because
Okay, so you're going to go run
it should
up under there
protect
to use
us.
the house key. All right. So you
It
move
should
forward
protect
to use.
us, right?
You haven't used it yet. I'm saying as you go to use it, you have to move under the tree, and as you move close to the tree, the owl starts to get restless.
Okay.
You feel that if you use this key, it'll work, but when you approach the tree, the owl is starting to react. It's becoming awake and restless, and its eyes are locking in on you specifically, since you're the one that's probably leading the movement towards the tree.
I thought we were actually underneath that tree already.
Not
Thought
yet.
there was. I
If
thought there
you
was
if
still
you
riding
if you do
inside
go
me.
to well, you've made it clear that you'd like to move under the tree. So I'll just say, if you go to move under the tree, the owl starts to crouch down, and you can tell if you go under the tree, he's gonna come down.
Okay, well we're looking.
As you do so, you actually can see, because you've got a perfect vantage point now, that there's a big opening in the tree about halfway up its length, that the owl is more or less blocking with his body. And just past inside that hole, you can see like some debris, bits of wood, straw,
Well, we
things like
know
that.
the owl was trying to build a nest. So it's very logical to assume that this would be the owl's home and the owl is trying to protect its young. And we wouldn't want to worry the owl into thinking that we're trying to attack its offspring or bother its eggs, because we're not.
so is there a hole in the bottom of the tree?
It's more like a depression, but yes, there's a
Well,
space
And
aren't there other trees that we're close to?
there are other trees throughout the forest. You could pick another tree.
Yeah, because I mean, we're just waiting the owl out so that he can go to sleep or she can go to sleep. We're not trying to
If you do back away from the tree, you notice the owl's restlessness diminishes somewhat, though she seems pretty awake now.
Well, like I said, I thought we were actually at the foot of that tree, so towards it wouldn't really. But if
You definitely had her attention. She landed apparently when you approached. Like she might have been. Some of you get the impression that she might have been watching you, like Socks, who had seen her doing so before. She was watching you all the way up to the point where you came to the tree, and she only chose to land when you approached the tree.
well, let's back away from her nest. What do you guys think?
I agree with that.
All right, you get a feeling from the owl. Its head cocks and it's staring. It continues to look at Socks and Raindrop. You get an impression like maybe it's considering something. Its talons continue to grip and ungrip on the branch.
I'm gonna call up there and ask, what's going on?
You would make a good
I don't
nest.
know that we can talk to it.
It says that, but only Drifter can understand.
What did he say? Or that Drifter understood?
She said,
He
"You
said,
would,
"Who?"
you would make a good nest." Yeah, she said, "Whoo."
Um, okay. Since Drifter's my translator, I'm gonna just say, no thanks.
Yeah, they're not going to be nests.
All right. She watches carefully, but if your group backs away carefully and slowly and keeps an eye on her, she doesn't attack you again. Do you choose a new tree for your home, or do you want to try something else?
I think
Well,
we're
I would
just
choose a new tree for the home.
All right.
Just basically, we're trying to wait until she rests, and then we're going to vamoose past her.
Okay. You look around and once again somebody just for random chances see how far you have to travel. Somebody give me a chance roll. We'll say if it's a fail, you have to travel a bit to find a tree suitable for a home. If you pass a success, it's a tree nearby. No penalty for failure or success because we're just trying chance to see what the environment's like.
Okay. 73.
I
Okay.
rolled a 50.
Okay. So there is a tree. You have to travel just a short ways to find. And when you go up onto the tree, you see it's better than the owl's tree was. There's actually it almost goes almost all the way under the trunk, like the almost the whole tree is above ground, just slightly because its roots raise up. Now, for a person, this would not be anything they could actually squeeze into, but for creatures your size, it's perfect. What would you like to do?
I'm going to drive in, look around with my headlights.
All right,
And
as
I'll,
your bright headlights flare into the opening and you drive up under, you a pair of luminescent eyes stare back at you, and you hear, "What are you? What are you doing?
We're getting away from this big bird.
This is my home."
I'm sorry.
A very
We didn't.
small snake slithers forward. It's only the half its size of Drifter.
We didn't mean to intrude.
"Mm, What are you?
I'm a truck.
What's a truck?
Me.
Fascinating."
Hey, maybe you can help us.
The
We're
tra-
looking
this
for we're looking for somebody that's kind of like them, but has red hair.
I saw no one.
Mm. Worth a shot.
The snake seems friendly enough, and it actually wiggles off to one side of the tree and just kind of watches. It doesn't seem to be barring your entry.
Do you mind if we come in?
Make yourselves at home.
Thank you.
All right. The snake is a tiny white albino snake with pink eyes, and it just kind of stares at you. As the plush animals come in, it stares at them as well. And as Maid's form works its way out of Drifter to make himself comfortable in their temporary dwelling place, it seems really interested in him. What is that?
We're still figuring that out.
Maid probably says something along those lines of something useful.
Probably wants to know if you need anything fixed.
A conversation breaks out in mild tones between the snake and Maid, and what exactly he's useful for. The snake is confused for generally the entire conversation. Did anyone have anything they want to talk with about the snake or to the snake?
Is there a way across the whole stream here? That's what I want to know.
Easy, you swim.
Knew
I
that
don't
was
have
coming.
to swim.
Have we spotted the dead tree yet?
The dead tree was the big black tree the owl was roosting in.
Oh, crap.
Some of you remember the badger's consternation in sending you this way. In hindsight, it seems that he knew he'd be sending you right towards the owl, but he also wanted to keep you away from the owl, so. He probably could have warned you guys, though.
You know. I'm stumped.
I'm sorry, I missed most of it because my computer is being my computer.
Okay, well, the snake will eventually, as you guys are talking about crossing the stream, he will eventually mention it. There is a bridge.
Really? Where might the bridge be?
West of here.
Which way is west?
The snake probably gets a little confused with the question and tries to figure it out, and more or less points west.
Well, that's been a great big old help.
Mm-hmm.
The snake knows about a bridge.
And honestly, the bridge is actually the direction the badger had been trying to get you to go from the dead tree. So those are actually following his directions. As you travel north to the dead tree, and then you travel west to get to the buildings. And apparently, there is a bridge over the stream.
So is the owl in the dead tree?
The owl is in the dead tree. If you guys peek out of your little abode, which the home key has made safe, you feel as you touch the home key to the wood of the tree, this place has become very homey. The little albino snake seems to curl up and let out a sigh of satisfaction as all of you feel safety and comfort descend on you. You feel warm inside and cozy. And as you peek outside of this little home, you see that the owl has disappeared, likely inside the hole in the rather large hole in the center of the dead tree.
Think we could sneak out past him now?
Um, we might do better if everybody rides.
Because then only you have to make that check. Or
Plus,
if we're
I'm
riding
probably
in,
faster.
How hard could it be to cross the bridge?
well, at least we're all doing it at the same time.
Yeah, let's just ride.
Come on, I mean, would you rather ride or walk? Come on,
All
Oh, I'd
right,
rather ride.
one stuff for Drifter for hounding everybody to get in the back. Get in the back, everybody. Here we go. All right, so you
Oh,
guys
good.
get in the back of the RC truck, and he takes off at roughly the same speed you would, but this way you're riding in style. And it doesn't actually take long to travel westwards towards the bridge. After traveling over what looks like a deer trail through the woods, kind of open space where the trees are kind of separated to a person, it would be enough for maybe two people to walk abreast. For you guys, it's probably like a massive, you know, chasm between trees, um, in which you're able to have plenty of room to move around and get over the obstacles that are in the woods, small stones, sticks, you know, all that stuff that's so big for you guys and kind of gets in the way. But more or less, you managed to work your way around all that, and with all you in the back to urge Drifter on, he's able to find his way to the bridge. Uh, the bridge itself is this massive creation of steel girders, beams, and bolts. As you look at it, you see that there is this strange set of rectangular tracks running along the center of it, which also wind their way to the east, um, after making a small curve. So you don't actually see them until you get close to the bridge. You see that they go along the bridge and they disappear into the horizon, heading west towards the large buildings, which you're actually starting to see now over the treetops.
Can
What
I
would
look and see if anything's coming,
you look very carefully and don't see anything coming?
even through my button?
You pull out your button and you look very carefully, and you think you see something boxy in the distance to the east along the track that runs on the side of the bridge that you're on now.
There might be something, but it's a ways away.
Is it moving fast?
Looking through the button at this distance, she's not sure if it's moving.
It could just be sitting there. I don't know.
Now, to
Do
determine
we?
whether or not that's going to be a problem, everybody, let's see, who wants to be the one to be in charge of the how wrong the bridge goes roll?
I'll go
Not it.
for it. I'm
All right. So you're in charge of the let's see how wrong the bridge goes.
And I probably should do it since I'm at 80. But
I'm pretty sure I'm at 80 myself. So
perfect.
Sounds good.
let's just save yours, and I will find my little rolling channel. Survey says 62.
62. All right, excellent. The boxy thing stays on the horizon, and you guys don't need to worry about dealing with a massive engine moving your way while you're trying to cover these tracks across the bridge. Because for you, it's actually quite a distance to travel across this bridge. After a long, quiet, and uneventful ride across the bridge, you reach the other side. Here, though, you see that things are starting to pick up. There's less debris, stones and sticks, not so much. Drifter can actually ride around now. It's more or less just a collection of dried leaves and some patches of loose dirt that are a little difficult to make it spin out a little every now and then. But for the most part, this terrain's much better than what you've been going over so far. And it gets better. Uh, it starts to move towards hard packed dirt, and eventually you see ahead of you on the horizon cement, and
I can really move.
the buildings are looming closer as you move along. Of course, this brings another issue. As you get closer, you come to a road, a large
Oh no.
highway with no less than 3 lanes cross. Now, you look to your right and you see buildings. You look to your left and you see buildings. And you look straight ahead of you and you see buildings. So you're going to have to pick a direction to move in to explore. Which way do you think she went? To the right, you see a large neon red sign with a person that seems to be kicking repeatedly over and over with a big strange hat. Straight ahead of you, you see a set of very tall buildings, seeming to reach and touch the sky. You literally have to crane all the way back to look up and see it. And uh, some of these buildings, they just shine with the morning sunlight reflecting off of their shiny surfaces. To small Wittershin, these actually must be monuments to the gods. They're so enormous and they're beautiful actually, in the rising sun. And to the left, you see something a little bit dingier and less appealing. It's a set of low, squat buildings. Um, some of them look to be in fairly good shape, but some of them look rather run down. Boarded up windows, bars over the windows, doors that have fallen off their hinges, so just gaping holes. Um, where would you like to go?
To the boarded up places.
I don't hear you, Andy. Or sorry, Anthony.
I was thinking we needed to go to the squat buildings as well.
Well, that answers my question then.
All
Where
right.
were you thinking?
I was going to ask where the $2 would go.
Considering
Well, you
we
want to know
should
where a doll
theoretically
goes?
think like a
You gotta think
doll.
like a doll, right? Yeah. All
Or be a
right.
doll.
Maid agrees with the group, and you make your way off to the decrepit-looking buildings to the left. Um, you guys are doing well. All right. So, how are you going to cross the road?
Hmm.
Very carefully.
Is there anything that like made like an overhanging thing that maybe we don't have our ropes anymore?
Uh, how is that going with Maid making
Maid
my?
has Maid has carefully throughout the time that you've been riding around, he's been just like furiously making vine rope, and you feel like he's almost done. He's almost got it done.
Because I was wondering if maybe there's like something overhanging that we could shoot the hook at to maybe like swing across the street rather than having to drive across that road.
You look
Kind of like
straight up.
Tarzaning it.
You look straight up, and you see open sky. There's nothing over the road at all.
Is it a busy road?
It is a 3-lane highway, and there are cars and trucks and very large trucks moving back and forth occasionally. It's
Do
not
any of them
as
ever
crowded
stop?
as it could be. They don't. They just keep on going. They come from one horizon and they exit from the other.
Is there any sewer grates?
Hmm. This far out of town, maybe. I'll roll a chance for me just to see if you're lucky.
35.
You're lucky. There's a sewer
Yes,
grate.
yep.
At the side of the road, actually, instead of a grate, you see a depression in the side of the road running along the curb, and there's a big hole there. The hole is roughly rectangular and about 4 feet long. For you guys, it's pretty wide.
Well, I say we go into that.
That sounds like a great plan.
And we should be able to go underneath the street and come out the other side somewhere. There's going to be grates on both sides. It's
It
obvious.
says somewhere.
Somewhere.
All right. So I assume that the party is consensus on this, and you guys get up to the hole in the sidewalk, and you climb down into it. Um, there is some stealth required to get to this and avoid being seen by the traffic. So if everybody would like to give me some kind of stealth check,
83.
44.
Oh.
59. Oh, 44.
Oh.
Yeah,
44
but
is
it's a 44 pass for me.
I think she has a higher 40. How did we do, Socks? Was that a fail?
yeah, what do you call it? A 59.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm at 20 right now.
There's a screech of tires nearby, and you get the impression you just got seen by one of the people that were driving by, and their car swerves a little bit, and they start pulling off of the road further ahead.
I would suggest we make haste into this thing for we're
Oh,
All
I'm
right,
gone.
you all get inside without further event, and you are moving through a sewer. Okay, there's a because you guys are so small, you're able to actually pull this off. But this is not like large enough for a person to walk around in. It's basically just a water duct, but you guys can walk. You guys can walk through it, and in case Drifter's case, drive through it. Though it is very filthy. There is ichor and nastiness and sludge everywhere. And it seems to be leading more or less northeast from
What
what you can
direction
tell
were
when
we
you
going?
first go down. Well, you were wanting to head, actually, that was northwest. Yes, that would be northeast. That would be the wrong way. You're trying to go more or less a little south and west.
so let's just turn around.
Well,
Um,
turning around would lead you back up out of the waterway.
oh, it doesn't go both ways.
Yeah, it only goes one direction. You do feel like maybe socks. You've been in stuff like this. It might have a turn off ahead. Maybe you can change directions as you continue, and it
That's
might not. The people are funny about their city construction. They like to change things up.
weird, but let's go ahead. I'm gonna run down ahead just because I can see and I'm familiar with it.
All right. Socks runs forward, and because of Socks's ability to see in the dark, you guys aren't going to have too much problem with getting lost. I am going to need Socks to make a roll not to get you lost, though.
Okay,
Oh,
hopefully I do better
socks.
than 40.
So we're going to call it an easy difficulty. So you are plus 10.
2G10.
Well, didn't you just fail your last one, so you go up
Oh my
anyway?
gosh, double zero.
Uh, well, that's 0, so that's perfect actually. Yeah, so good. She's perfect at this. Socks seems to sniff the air occasionally, and we kind of touch the walls and just kind of feel this place, and it's almost like she can and imagine a map of it in her mind as she's moving along, and she knows exactly what she's doing. She turns left as you guys come to the first intersection that you can. She takes a couple more turns after that, and then she stops. And with unerring accuracy, she suddenly feels like uh, the rectangular opening above you is the one you need.
So I'm like, I'll call out down the sewer saying, "Hey, come this way. Come this way. Follow me."
I'll be I'll be riding in the car because I don't want to get icky.
I know how to
All
Your
right.
clean
rubber
myself
tires clean a lot
afterwards.
more easily than I do.
I just throw myself in the water and shake myself out. Yeah.
The water is not the cleanest water you've ever shook yourself out in, but it it's water. Um, you guys get out of the sewer, climbing up out of the rectangular opening, and this is probably quite difficult for Drifter. I'm gonna assume that all of you help him climb. Like rolling down was into the hole was easy. Rolling back out of the hole is probably a little bit more rough for his nature. So him and Maid probably need some assist from the rest of the
Hey, I got
team.
mud tires.
Mud tires. Ooh. He's gonna try to ride right up that wall. All right, and you guys managed to get it. Well, we're not gonna roll for that, but you guys managed with time to get him out and get Made out as well. And then you're all there, and Made announces that he's done with his vine rope. Um,
Woohoo!
and then he coils it up into a tight set of loops, and he kind of sets it into the pickup bed of Drifter's RC unit. And as you guys get out, you see that you're on another road, um, and this road it just so happens to be next to a line of broken down looking buildings. Um, let's see. Normally, I would, when you're searching for something, I would say we'll do a chance for it. But in this particular case, as your characters look out over the buildings, you all feel one of them call out to you in the sense that you see swirling shadows working across the walls of one of the buildings in the morning light.
That's unexpected.
That don't look right.
We should
I'm gonna
probably go check that out.
investigate.
As you move closer to the building, the door of which is closed quite tightly and has a big notice with people words on it that says "condemned." You see on the side of the building as you walk up, there was the swirling shadows I mentioned of, and at first they seem kind of playful, like they're dancing back and forth, and then they just suddenly flare up, and that side of the building seems very dark for a moment, and then it goes away.
Bye. I'm gonna ask that questioningly. Like I don't know why they left.
You felt something was there, but whatever it is, it's not there now. You get the impression like there was some kind of game of tag going on here, maybe, or maybe something more sinister.
Hmm.
I don't think I want to be it.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good.
When I get the feeling we need to check this building.
I think we should check the building.
I agree.
As you move around to the entrance of the building, for one thing, you all are aware that as the morning works on, you have to worry about the people. They usually come out during the day. They like to go to their important people things during the day and walk around for people reasons into the streets for people reasons. And for that reason, it is usually bad for Wittershin to be out and about in a people city like this one. So you'll definitely need to find some place to hunker down or hide because being out in the middle of the city in the open like this is probably going to end up getting you caught.
Yeah.
When you move up to the front of the building, you can see that there's a large display window that is cracked, and through the display window, you can see a set of legs, just a set of legs, and
People legs?
they look like people legs, except they have the sheen of plastic.
That's strange.
You can also
Where's
see a bunch of other debris. Go ahead.
Are they tiny people legs or big people legs?
Like big, like regular sized people, like a full grown man size
Okay.
people
Where's
legs.
the rest of him?
It's just the legs. They end just below the waistline. And then you also see other bits of debris all throughout the display window. You see bits of paper, some cardboard trash, some crunched up cans. People like to drink that weird fizzy stuff all the time. It's probably that. And you also see you see a small box with a handle sticking out of the side, and you see a large box that you don't recognize. It's like the other box except it's bigger, and this one also has a set of handles at the side, but at the top of it, it's got a great big flanged tube with a hole in it. When you look at the door, you see that it is both locked, padlocked, and chained.
Either they're trying to keep people out or they're trying to keep something in.
What about that pipe again? Can we tell where that goes?
The pipe.
The opening that you were describing.
The opening was in the tube that was on a like a flange tube that was sticking out of a box that you see on the other side of the display table. The other,
Oh, okay.
it's a
Um,
it's a megaphone.
oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, we do have a key that will open doors.
I have a I have a
Maid
special key, but I don't know if it'll open
Maid
this.
says mine always opens doors. I'll do it.
Yeah, let try
And Maid
his key.
Maid does this awkward gyration where he moves his whole body backwards and forwards, and after doing that a few times, like this little pook, this little key pops out of the top of his head, and it's attached to like a chain on the back of him, and he just kind of like kind of sword fishes the key out the door
Doinks.
and whacks it. And the moment the key attached to Maid touches the door, you hear a resounding set of clunk, 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 clink, clunk, as the not only the deadbolt lock unlocks, the door lock unlocks, the chains sort of just kind of fall open as the padlock that was holding them together unlocks, and the door swings open only slightly because the chain stops it from going too far.
Is it
Just
enough for
enough,
us to get in?
just enough for you to get in.
Yeah, it usually is.
It's funny how that always works out.
Well, it's probably for the best this way. That way we don't have to worry about people coming in without us knowing.
It's good
Drifter will
being
have to turn
tiny.
on his will have to turn on his side to get through the door. Might need a little help. Could
We'll
probably
help
do
him
it
get
himself.
back righted.
How much time does Drifter spend playing wheelies and going up
Just
on
a
two
few,
wheels? Just a little.
just little ways, and
He could
then
probably do it. Yeah, he could probably do it. All right. All of you managed to get inside. Once you all get inside, the door slams shut. Boom.
Um, that's not
did you
right.
do that?
That is weird because I thought his key would keep it open unless he told him to shut it.
Maid says, "Huh?" As he flicks his key back. Must have been the wind.
No, it wasn't the wind. It's never the wind, says an undersider.
Yeah, I'm gonna look. Oh, I bet it's those shadow things. I'm gonna turn around and shine my headlights around the door.
All right. It is very dark in here. The first thing you notice about the place that you're in is that there are these um, large aisles all throughout this place, and it for characters of your stature, they're monoliths. Each one of them is reaching up into the heavens, like all the way towards the roof, which for you is very, very, very high up. And along all these aisles, each of them's got shelves, and on these shelves are stacked all sorts of things. Some of the shelves are almost barren, but most of them have debris and just objects on them. Some of which you don't recognize, some that you do.
I don't know if we can find anything we can use.
Maid's
I'm
like,
gonna
like what?
I'm gonna take a look around and see if any of these other shadow things are about.
I think we should stick together.
When you think about the shadow things and you look around, sure enough, it doesn't take long. You see some playing at what seems to be the far corner of the room, at least the room you're in. You see a doorway leading to another room straight ahead, and you see a doorway leading to yet another room to the right, behind this display case, the one that faces the display window.
You want to head to the one by the display case? Hello.
Sounds good.
I'll leave that
Okay.
up to other people this time.
All right. I'm. Guess I'll head that way.
Okay, you're heading to the door to the right that leads into another room. As you move towards this door, and it, you notice it's shut, and Maid's like, "Oh, I'll get that." He moves over and he goes to use his key on it, and you hear a clunk clunk, and the door opens, and you see a room that is completely pitch black beyond.
Bright lights,
Right, you
high
turn your
beams.
lights, you turn your high beams on, but for some reason they don't seem to penetrate as far as they should here. They do light up the area just in front of you, like a few feet, but
And
it's almost like the
how mu-
darkness is solid here.
how much can I
Go ahead.
see forward?
Just as far as his headlights go.
That's not right. So do we go in? Cause that looks kind of
As you
scary.
make commentary about the darkness, it recedes, and you
That
can, and your Socks the Fox, your undersider, is able to see further like she normally could,
Mm-hmm.
and you can see another set of shelves with various items and sundries upon them.
All right, I'm gonna go investigate the shelves because I'm not entirely sure that if these shadows are dangerous or not.
yeah, this is definitely not right.
As you move over to the shelves, you are attacked, as suddenly a box springs open, and several pieces of cutlery stand up on their ends, putting the forks tines forward, the knives blades forwards, and they stab forwards. Let's see. It was Socks the Fox who had moved forward first, so we're gonna go ahead and let her be the one that was attacked first. So the let's make a challenge out of this. Get the whole group involved and just do it all at once. That might be the simplest way to do it. So I'm going to
Oh dear.
put a 5 stuff challenge on this combat, so it will count as extended combat conflict. I'm
Okay.
going to because Maid's player is not here. I'm actually going to kind of set him behind your group. He's not going to be involved in the combat for the moment, unless absolutely necessary.
He can pew
And
pew.
yeah, he's backup support. All right. So for the three of you, it's going to be a 5 stuff challenge, uh, and the odds are going to be for this particular combat normal. So let's start with what would you like to do when the cutlery gets up to attack you?
Jump back.
The shine of the high beams from Drifter the RC shows that they are made of silver. Okay, Socks the Fox is attempting to jump back and evade. Go ahead, Socks. If you can successfully do this, you will take no stuff and damage. It's a
Excuse
purely
me.
defensive move.
2d10. 27. That will actually pass.
Socks nimbly backs up and gets away as the steely knives and forks stab where she'd just been, digging into the floor, which seems to be some kind of strange mat, and also one of them driving into a nearby wooden post in its effort to furiously stab at her. What is Raindrop doing?
She's gonna scatter some pebbles to try to cause them to lose their balance and such.
Okay, well they're already precariously balanced, being as they don't really have legs. So maybe this will work. Give it a shot.
13.
All right, you throw some pebbles out there, and we'll say I'm going to take uh, I'm going to
Difficult
take a
terrain.
I'm going to take a stuff away from your challenge of 5, and that's going to reflect the forks and knives that have just kind of scattered and fallen onto the sides and skittered away into the darkness as they hit pebbles and just kind of tripped and fell. All right, then we're going to go to because you did it's more a defensive than offensive option. I'm not going to have any stuff and damage done to you. Drifter, what are you doing?
Okay, so are they like kind of a group in front of me?
They are attacking as a group, like a set. In fact, as a set.
All right. So, I've got my battery ram block on my front end,
All right, you're gonna
my
you're gonna
Lego brush
play.
guard,
You're gonna to bowl with them. They're the
bowling
bowling pins
for
giving you the ball.
blades.
Okay, bowling for blade. Let's go for it.
Oh,
It doesn't sound good.
88,
Okay,
88.
so Drifter, hits the gas, so to speak. At least he doesn't actually use gasoline, but his wheels spin out and he takes off. Yeehaw, as he points his Lego block ram at these hostile cutleries. And unfortunately, though, they you know how the soldiers will put down lances and pikes to approaching cavalry. Yeah, that's what just happened. Basically, they all set themselves against Drifter the RC as he attempted to ram them, and instead of ramming them, he actually ramps up, and their blades and tines dig into the soft underside of the RC unit. Bits of wire are cut, and electronics are skewered, and you take two stuff and damage,
Oh
Ow.
dear.
as these particular items seem to be exceptionally damaging, more so than they should be. You know immediately. There is some kind of malicious force behind the damage that they are doing. Basically, they are hitting with a great deal of accuracy and cutting very deeply.
Can
Hey,
we
so
get out of
th-
here?
I think getting out
this
of here would be a good idea.
this really ain't right. They hit too hard.
All
I
right, the
think we should
extended challenge does continue.
retreat.
We're going to start right back at the top, and you can tell me if you decide to retreat. That can be part of the challenge. We're going to have to go until either you beat the five stuff or you manage to escape. So here we go. We're going to start back. We started with Socks first, I believe, last time. So, Socks, what would you like to do? You've already actually got a good grip on escape, if that's how you'd like to go for your fair escape.
Not leaving without people. So, let's see here. What can I do here? I'm thinking. Actually, I'm just going to yell for everybody to retreat, and then I'm going to start heading out because it'll be easier for me to do stuff once we're out of here, away from the challenge.
All right, retreat, and she takes off. This is purely defensive, so if you succeed, you'll take no stuff and damage. If you fail, you'll take minimal amount of damage since you're just trying to get away.
2d10. I'm down to 20, so 17. I'm a lucky duck.
Nicely done. Uh, some of the dangerous blades come spinning through the air. They seem to be striking each other and sending each other spinning in a concerted effort with an extreme amount of teamwork. As the cutlery actually throw themselves, the forks using their tines to hurl knives in an effort to stab you through. With a stunning display of cartwheels, backflips, and jumps, Socks manages to evade every single blade sent her way until she manages to run through the door, heading well on her way to safety.
I
We're
hope
going to go ahead
everybody
and.
else is listening to me.
Yep, I hear you.
I mean,
Can
the
you hear me?
rest of the
Oh, okay.
group. I hope they.
I mean, listening to the character. Gotcha. Sorry. All right. So we got the next person up. I believe we were at Raindrop as number two, or was it Drifter that went number two last night? I think it was
Um,
Raindrop.
yep. Now, can like Raindrop scatter more pebbles as she's running off, or scatter pebbles and then jump into Drifter's car? Or is
But
that that's
you
two
could do
actions or only one?
you could
Because
do both of those. That's fine.
okay, so she's going to scatter pebbles just to try to create difficult terrain and jump into Drifter's car.
Jumping in the Drifter's bed is a catch 22 because while
If he
yeah,
doesn't make it out,
he doesn't make it, neither does Raindrop. So um,
you understand
there's
that.
that. All right, so she jumps in the bed of his truck and she throws more pebbles out. Go ahead and roll your chance. See how effective that was. Because you're really littering the floor with pebbles now. Maybe there's some more damage to be done with this.
I made it. I had to get a 27 and I got a 26.
Excellent, just barely. All right, so you throw more pebbles out, and yet more cutlery goes flying. They were working in a formation, which actually kind of worked against them because you get the floor so littered with debris now that they're kind of tripping over themselves as much as anything else. And there's cutlery goes flying everywhere. I'm going to go ahead and take another stuff off of the challenge. So you're down to 2 stuff for the challenge, I do believe. And from there, what is Drifter going to do? Oh, don't hear you.
It's payback.
Uh-oh.
You're attacking.
Oh yeah.
Well,
I
that
rolled
did
I
not
rolled a
go
60.
well for Raindrop, then, did it?
What did you roll?
I rolled a 60.
You rolled a 60, and it was
Yep.
yep. You are high enough. So, all right. So you're using the Lego Ram this time again. All right. The chaos created by the pebbles thrown all over the floor gave him the opening he needed through the pipeline. And Drifter turns up on 2 wheels using the same method he used to get through the door to attack sideways, managing to slip past the blades and careen into a strong group of the silverware, sending them flying in all directions, bent silverware flying here and there. The sounds of metal colliding against metal, and metal colliding against wood, and metal colliding against stone, and metal colliding against other random objects in the room is very high. It's a din of noise. For you guys. I mean, for a person, it'd be like a small scattering, like somebody dropped a box of silverware. But for you guys, it's an explosion of cacophonous noise. And after the dust is all settled, you have dealt the final 2 points of stuff to their group. They seem to have just all gone still.
Did we kill him?
Or to just stun them. Should we just go ahead and get out of here while we can? Maybe look in the other shelves to see if there's anything interesting and just leave this room alone?
I don't know. It kind of makes me feel like there's something important in here.
Socks, the door in front of you slams shut.
Are we still in there?
Yes.
Crap. Where's is maid still in the room with us?
Maid's in the back of the truck. Actually, no. Maid is with Socks because he hung back. So
But at
Maid.
least he can open the door for us if need be.
Hopefully.
Well, I have little sand, or what do you call it, beads in my paws. The what do you call it? So I'm bapping up against the door like this, bump, 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 trying to see if anybody can hear me on the other side. I'm sorry, it's my nature to be cute.
Maid is gonna move towards the door and to get his little key out. Be like, I'll get it. And he touches the door, and sure enough, there's the sound of a lock, chunk, and the door opens again. And Socks could swear she saw some shadows flit away from the door frame and fly along the wall nearby and disappear into the other room.
Well, Raindrop is just along for the ride at this point, so wherever Drifter goes, that's where she's going, because she's
Well,
staying in the car.
do you see anything interesting or anything we need to look at in here?
I'm looking around.
Do we see anything?
And all the interesting stuff seems to have gone away. I don't know very much about these shadows, but I am now very worried.
Well, yeah, I don't like them now either. I,
Where they come from?
I don't know, but they got me in the undercarriage and it ain't feeling right.
Do you actually I think I might be able to help that. I have this, and I have this little fairy pendant around my neck, and it does do healing.
Okay, you can spend a stuff, and for this scene that item is used, and you will gain. I believe you have to spend some stuff, and they gain stuff. I can't remember what the value was. It should be written down for you.
Hmm. I don't know if it's written down anywhere.
Oops. We'll say it's 2 for 3. Then I do believe that was what it was going for.
All right,
So for
then.
you, it's a small heal. For someone else, it's a large heal.
Okay, so I heal him.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So
And
spending two of her valuable points of stuff, she transfers some of her power over her energy. Maybe she just rubs you down, makes you feel better. Nice massage. It always helps. Um, over here, next to Socks, Maid suddenly kind of looks or turns around and says, "That's odd. Wasn't there a pair of legs over there?"
are they
There
gone?
was.
When Socks goes to look, the legs are gone.
That's not
Creepy.
creepy at all.
Creepy.
Did we have? Do we? Can we look around and see if we happen to see any like other doll footprints coming into this building? Because we're here for Anne, and if Anne's not here, then do we need to be in this building?
You carefully look around, but the cement and other weird fabrics and stuff that were used for the floor here really don't convey tracks.
Okay.
I say we should check in the other direction. This direction is not a nice direction.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
this
you
this
go ahead.
isn't. I was thinking it was going to be homes of families that didn't necessarily have a lot of money, and so maybe a child who really needed a doll.
Yeah, that was my feeling too. But this looks more like a place that people don't live at.
Place that people have abandoned.
You all hear a sound from further in the room that you started going in with the cutlery. Dun dun dun
Okay, well I'm listening. Do I listening really hard? What can I tell?
dun 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 dun.
I don't like that. I think we should go.
I'm trying to recognize the tune.
It sounds like music, and it's warbling tones that sound kind of light, and
Old.
it does sound a bit antiquated. Yes.
I don't like it. I think we should go.
Oh, what's the worst that can happen? Something jump out at you?
I think so.
How about if I just call out into this room and says, "Hello, who's there? And will you explain yourselves?"
When you call out, no one answers.
They've
All
already
right,
tried
we're
to
done.
attack us.
We're done.
Oh,
We're,
come on.
Um, as you guys, are you heading down to the door to leave then?
I don't know if we have a consensus
Well,
about that.
I'm in a
Who
car,
wants?
and if the car isn't leaving, then I guess I'm not leaving, and I don't want to leave my friends,
All right,
but
I'll
I
follow the
don't want to be
car.
here.
I don't think this is the smartest idea in the world, but all right,
I
I'm following the car.
I
Hello,
don't
Teddy.
think it's a smart idea either. But the car wants to go there. The car wants to go there.
So do you investigate the spooky sounds at the back of the dark room? Excellent. All right. So Drifter starts to move around the aisles. It is very dark in here. Only your um, undersider can even see with any degree of clarity past the high beams, and her sight, which is usually quite good in the dark, is it's just seems a little diminished. Um, there is a lot of shadow playing at the corners of her vision. Like her periphery is very dark. She always feels like there's something there, but when she looks to the left or right, she doesn't see anything. As you move further towards the sound, you hear it again. Dun 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 dun
Oh, I
dun
recognize
dun
this tune
dun
now.
dun
I
dun.
don't think we should be here. I think it's gonna be bad.
And then I
As
go
you
dun 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 dun. I've heard this one before.
as you come around a corner from one of the aisles, you see a box like the one you'd seen in the window. It's a small rectangular box with some ornamentation along the lid and along the sides of the box. and it's got a small handle sticking out the side in the shape of an kind of like a Z, and it's turning
I'm definitely gonna
as you
try
watch.
finish its tune for him.
Do you think
It
that
doesn't make
maybe
any
we could?
sound, but the
I
handle
think
is turning.
maybe we should stop that handle from turning. Maybe tie it back so it doesn't turn.
Do you grab the hold of the handle to stop it from
I
turning?
hop on top of the box.
You hop on top of the box. Okay.
Yep.
She jumps up on top of the box. Boop. She's up there.
This is going to be good.
All right, and Raindrop shoots out and grabs hold of the handle, and she's just holding it. She can feel resistance, like
So
it's trying to
I'm
move.
holding on to it. Somebody tie this. Take the cord and tie around this box so that this handle can't turn anymore.
What am I supposed to tie it to?
Maid's like I'll figure it out. I can be useful. He gets down with the ropes and he's pulling them out and uncoiling them and trying to figure out how he's going to do this. As he's
Stick your
mapping that out,
stab your blade in the box.
are you sure? As he's figuring that out and you're conversing, the resistance for the handle suddenly stops, but the sound from the box resumes. Dun 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 dun
Dun, dun.
dun dun.
Bye, Fox.
Are you still on top of the box, Socks?
Yep,
Nothing happens.
because I'm on top of the box.
I swear if I had hands, I'd turn that off.
The first person to notice it is Socks. The room grows very cold and dark. Done. Socks is thrown from the box as the lid suddenly pops open, and a little clown with a pair of scissors pops out and attacks everybody else in the vicinity, which is going to be Maid and Raindrop. Um,
Wow, what a bunch of evil toys!
I want to leave, but no.
the
Somebody had to insist on driving in.
the painted on clown's face is quite jovial and joyous as its little white flipper hands have grasped onto this large pair of scissors that have a very thick set of handles and very large blades. Obviously, this is not part of this original toy. Um, Whoever put this in the box is clearly avoiding safety standards for doing things like this. And it is just wielding it back and forth, slashing haphazardly. You're not even sure actually if it's like an intentional thing or if it's just as a result of the box having from the force of the box having opened up initially. So let's go ahead and decide what you're going to do, and then tell me.
As soon as it pops up, I'm going to jump back.
Excellent. So go ahead and roll your chance to get away from the flailing scissors.
Well, I failed with a 41.
All right, these scissors strike you, and as with Drifter, it is far more damaging than a pair of scissors should be. As they cleave into you with a great deal of force, you feel something cold and icy touch you when they cut you. Um, Raindrop, or not Raindrop, sorry, Socks. So actually, Socks had gotten bounced off the box. I put her in the safety zone just for having gotten jettisoned. So it is actually on Drifter.
I rolled a 0 and a 9.
0 to 9. That sounds good. I mean, unless you
I'm
run.
gonna ram the crap out of him.
All right, so you charge forward to attack the
I'm gonna
box.
try to tip him over.
Well, technically, it doesn't have stuff levels. So what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to say you slam into the box and it turns over, and the clown's just laying there on its back, and the scissors are laying off to the side. It's just laying there, not moving anymore.
Woohoo!
You seem to have defeated it.
How far away am I now?
Hurl through the air. And actually, let's try your chance out because this could get really ugly depending on where you go.
Should have landed yet.
Come on, no way I'm gonna use 2d20. 26.
26. That sounds good. You weren't too low, right?
Actually, you know what? I'm at 20 now, so no, what do you call it? Did not pass that.
Okay, so you will go up now. You will be at 40 next time. And for this time, there was no fours in there. You said 26, right?
Yep.
Okay. So, not terribly bad, but bad. All right. So, you land on one of the high shelves, and as you tumble to onto your side, kind of having a hard time catching yourself, um, you kind of get an idea for your surroundings. There seem to be a set of heads up here.
Heads?
Yeah, they look like severed people heads, but they're like really white, and some of them have like fabricy looking hair. Um, and as you look, one of them turns to you, and its eyes open, and it you see you see almost like a dull red glow in its irises. You get a distinct feeling of the worst kind of evil.
Okay, I look back at it, and really the only thing I have to say is no matter they close this place, and then I'm gonna back away. Slow.
All right, the head seems to just kind of be exactly where it's left. It kind of almost like it's so still. You wonder if you were seeing things. Maybe the red highlights were the reflection of light from somewhere else in the room. Maybe it didn't really move. Maybe you bumped it and didn't realize. It just stares. If you move any further backwards, you're going to tumble off of the shelf.
Hmm.
Do a backflip.
Would you like to jump off the shelf?
Um, yes,
All right.
because
You were
honestly, I
quite
don't think
high.
any of these are gonna know where the what do you call it? Little girl with the doll is. I
Do
really.
a backflip.
You
All right,
decide
I'll do
that
the
that
backflip.
this particular high place is not really where you want to be, so you go to jump off. As you pass over the side of the ledge, probably with your vision affixed to this head quite rigorously, you do feel like the eyes shifted at the last moment to follow your descent. You land with a plump boop at the bottom, and your friends are about 10 to 12 feet away.
Okay, I'm gonna watch back up where that head was since it seems to be still watching me. And
Well, from
honest,
the angle you're at now, you can no longer see the head.
okay, but
You'd
I
have to
could
actually
still
be up
sense
there.
it watching me.
Maybe you feel like it's still watching you. The hairs on the back of your neck, if you had them, would definitely be standing up.
Hmm, well, I got little fur thingies, so yeah, those stand up. I'm gonna scurry back to my friends.
All right. You make it back. Maid's like, oh, she's still alive. Good.
So how was your flight?
It was fun until I got up onto the shelf. I think that maybe it is actually time to get out of this place.
Now, did Drop take any damage from that scissor attack?
If you were struck by the scissor attack, you took 2 stuff in damage. Yes.
I was struck by I had a 41 as a failure, just so you know.
Oh,
Oh, 41. Okay. Yeah, that's going to be 4 stuff in damage.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you for coming forward with that. I actually missed it when you said it earlier.
Yep.
All right. So
That
everybody
feels
moving
good.
moving back out of the room, I take it?
Yes, please. If Drifter would be so kind.
Well, there are other options. You could continue through the room. There seems to be a door leading to another room from here. You
I'm
have
sure
actually made your
that's
way through
wise.
you've made your way through most of the room, and there's a door leading to another room from here.
Is it closer than the other door was?
It is now.
What do you think? Should we go through the unknown door or back through the door we know?
We might as well.
Okay. So
All
yeah,
right.
we'll go through the new door.
You get up to the door, and May does this thing because the door is closed, and he flips his key up, and he leans forward and touches the door, and he's like, "I'm being useful." And the you hear a click, and the door starts to swing open, and you see this next room actually has a fair amount of light in it. As you move into this room, you see that there are some strange metal legs everywhere with a long track over the top of them. It looks like it's a conveyor belt. Just try to get
Okay.
that description before. For you guys, it probably looks very strange, but it's this long tube of metal winding around the room, and you see big boxy machines that are attached to it. Sometimes the tubes run into dark holes and disappear. And there are flashing lights here and there. This room's fairly lit up because there are flashing lights everywhere, but there's no actual real light source. It's dark, but it's lit up with flashing lights, if that makes sense. Uh,
Okay.
and as you move in, you can see that up on one of the conveyor belts there is a red-headed doll who is apparently looking through boxes that are up on the conveyor belt.
Can we help you find anything? Please don't run from us.
The doll stops and then turns and looks at you all, and you see button eyes, uh, and you see there is a chain with like a little circle attached to it on her neck, um, and it's like a little metal circle. And you see that she's got her little doll dress is very dirty. She's definitely been out and about quite a lot, um, and she's got like sticks and twigs sticking out here and there. Probably from her recent trap through the woods. Uh, and she looks at you. She says, "I wasn't running.
You ran from us. We were trying to find you.
I, I'm not lost."
Well, we were asked to find you by Granny Bean. She was concerned about you.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, grain bean. Yes. She pauses for a second and then she looks back at the boxes. I am looking for something.
Well, maybe
Maybe
we can help.
maybe you can help. Here, come here. And she points at the boxes she's rifling through.
Okay, so Raindrop will try to climb up there.
I will too.
All right, you climb up onto the conveyors and make your way along these strange little rolling things um, that are on the conveyors. At times, maybe you slip on them and like it roll a little bit, and then have to like climb back up to continue scurrying along. Um, Maid tries it just a little bit, and he's like, "Nope." When he gets into the back of Drifter, he's like, "I'm not doing that."
This thing's gonna turn on by itself, isn't it?
And as you guys get closer to her, she looks at you again, and she says, "The the Inklings here are a nuisance. Can you help me with them?"
So that's what the shadow things are called.
What are you trying to find?
What do you want us to do with them?
The Inklings. I'm trying to find the Inklings.
Why
If
are
I
you
can,
trying to find them?
if I can find them, then I can help convince them to stop their mischief. Maybe the owner will come back. They scared the owner away.
Well, we just went through something in the other room.
I mean,
They keep on running
um,
away, but
they
I don't
do.
know why they're running away.
Or
We
attacking.
we don't have an inkling of anything that's going.
They're
I'm
quite
willing to try to.
capricious, and
They're what?
they're quite capricious, and they're likely in their mischief to run off after causing their mischief. So if you could just find them for me and convince them to come to me, or maybe I know I have something. It'll help you catch them. Could you catch them for me?
I'll try.
We can try.
She reaches one of her doll hands into a pocket in the front of her dress, and she pulls out. It looks like spider web, and she just keeps pulling it out and pulling it out and pulling it out, and she hands you the ball of spider web. She's like, all you have to do is throw it with intent, and it will catch the inklings, and then you can bring them back, and we can have a talk.
Okay. That sounds like a good plan.
I think I will just take this spider web.
I don't hear you.
Am I far enough away from the group that if I whisper to Maid that he's the only one that can hear me?
Sure.
Um,
I don't trust her. She's creepy.
I will take the spider web.
Maid says everything in here is creepy.
Yeah, but she's really creepy.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Good.
He says what she says about the inklings rings true. I think. I mean, they are pretty mischievous.
Yep. And I'm
Well,
not that uncomfortable in here, so
um,
I've never heard about them trying to hurt people before, though.
um,
That sounds more like bogeys.
Raindrop should be able to
oh,
find him with her button.
Yeah. 'Cause
wait a
she
Okay.
can. I can look for him.
wait a minute. Did we just encounter bogeys and not the inklings? I think that we encountered the bogeys.
I don't know what we encountered.
Okay.
It might have been both.
Your button. I think you've used your button this scene, and I do believe it's got a. Does it have a one
Mm.
scene cap, or did we just
You
take it?
didn't give me a cap on my button.
Okay, because it has a fairly mild power. Okay,
Yep.
that's fine.
I used it to check for the on the train tracks, but
Okay.
you didn't put a cap on my button.
We'll say we can use the button. It magnifies things, but and it helps you with tracking things and whatnot, and seeing things at a distance. But as far as actually seeing things that are hidden, it doesn't really see through objects or anything like that. And you get a feeling that finding the inklings with it won't necessarily be easier because they are made out of shadow, and being able to magnify doesn't necessarily help you see shadows.
Now we
But
do know what an inkling is, right?
Yes, your characters as Wittershin are all aware that an Inkling is a creature that is made out of shadow, um,
Okay.
and you all
that's
know, like Maid said, they do tend to be kind of mischievous and troublesome.
but in the last room, I thought we were encountering inklings, but they were hostile, so I was wondering, hmm, what's going on here? But I don't think I ever heard of bogeys before.
Well,
So,
all of you would also be aware of what bogeys are. Bogeys
oh,
are basically corrupted Inklings. They try to harm people.
so do we need to uncorrupt them? Or I need a clarification from our
As far as you know, your characters are still fairly new to be having been awakened. So maybe you should ask a Wittershin who's been around longer.
yeah, that I was looking for clarification from our doll, our what do you call it? I don't know if her
Um,
name's Anne or Sally right now.
It's
So
it's Anne. It's Anne.
Anne, okay,
It's
Anne,
funny that you said Sally, but yes, it's Anne.
okay.
Yeah. So when you ask her, she says, "Oh, bogeys. Well, I hope not. You know, I think it's only Inklings. If you could
well,
Okay,
find the Inklings,
they
bring
did
them
try
back.
to attack,
If
and
you see
that
bogeys, by all means, run away. They're dangerous."
I think we've seen
that if they're
plenty
just
of
inklings,
bogeys. I'm gonna just put my nose to the ground and see if I could sniff out anything unusual.
All right. You begin sniffing at the ground. Um, you smell oil and rust and dust and decay.
Anything Any place more than usual?
It's about what you'd expect to smell in a place like this, actually.
All right.
Nothing really unusual, nothing that sets your nose off as out of place.
All right.
What if the Inklings are mischievous? Maybe if we did something um, mischievous, they might be interested in coming out and playing.
You do recall that when you first came up to the building, you saw something playful skittering along the side of the building before it was chased away.
So if it was chased away, there might be things in here that are. There might be
Scared.
bogeys and inklings here.
I'm going to go with that theory being correct. Maybe we should.
So, who's closest to me?
Maid is closest to you
Well,
because,
he's that's not actually inside me.
well, I think we're both up still with Anne.
Am I not with y'all?
Were you
You-
able to climb up to
You're all,
her?
you're all together.
Okay.
He can drive down to these underneath where you are and just talk up to you. It's just a conveyor belt. It's only like 2.5 feet off the ground. It's not a big deal.
Okay.
Well,
Oh,
maybe we should start checking the darkest corners then, since they're all
well,
Yeah.
shadow.
I like her ideas. Pull a prank or something, or
Yeah.
do
Let's
something
let's
fun.
let's try pulling a prank and see if
So it's well, it doesn't necessarily have to be a prank. It
I
can
don't.
just
just
something
be.
fun.
Anne says, I don't think they're in this room. I've been looking. We're gonna have to look elsewhere.
Well, let's go back out to the big room
Just in case, I'll stay here and keep looking. Let me know if you find them.
All right, let's go through the
What are
other
you
room
looking
really
for?
quickly.
because I got an idea.
Okay. Well, I'll go down to Drifter since Drifter has an idea of something fun to do that might draw the attentions of the Inklings.
I'm game.
Okay, are we on the ground yet?
Yeah, yeah. They're all. We'll say they jump into the bed of the RC truck, and you guys take off to the next room, the one where you had been attacked multiple times.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
so everybody out.
Okay, I'll get out.
Okay,
Okay, so you're gonna do this in the room that you had trouble in. Okay.
why not? So, any, meeny, miny, mo, um, made. I'm gonna roll behind him while everybody's looking around. I'm gonna clunk in one door and say, "Tag, you're it." And I'm gonna take off running.
Okay.
Maid stands there for a minute.
And
Says,
I'll hide
"What?
behind something.
Oh, okay." And he starts like stutter stepping after you, as quick as he can. And with the floor being flat here, Maid can actually make some good distance. He can travel just as fast as you can, so he makes a good chase. Actually, it's kind of impressive how fast his little protractor like legs can move. Yeah, and after you guys have moved through most of the room, nothing has happened. You're just moving up and down the aisles. As you get close to the door leading to the next room, though, you almost feel like you hear some faint childlike laughter from the other room.
Okay, so is the door open?
To the room that you went in before, yeah. Maid had opened
Where we hear that?
it. Well, for those of you that had been doing the running around, yeah, you when you came close to the door, both of you heard it. Maid's like, "Hey," and he turns and looks.
I mean,
And,
is the door to the room where we hear that? Is it open?
yeah, yeah, because you came in that
Okay,
door to get to the bad room. So
so
let's get a quick overview of the layout of the house because by now everybody's probably getting plenty confused. So to make things simple, as you approached and faced the store, you saw that there was a display window. The door entry into the room into the store was on the left of the display window. You went through that door with the chains and whatnot to get into the store. Once you were in that store facing forward, to your right immediately would have been the display window and the display case in front of the display window and a door, which is led to the room where you had trouble.
Okay, like a
Directly
storeroom.
in front of you was another door that you have yet to try to go through, and the room where that display window is actually where you're hearing the laughter from now.
Okay, so the main room.
The main room, the entry room. We'll call it that.
Okay.
I'll follow my ears to the little giggles.
All right, so I'm gonna turn
You
my
think
lights on
anybody wants
dim.
to play hide and seek?
Yeah, I'm fixing to drive in and ask them if they want to play.
All of you see as you come into the entry room, you can see it. It's what Socks had seen before. The little shadows along the walls. They dance about a bit and then they flit away.
I want to chase
Um,
them.
I got an instinct to chase,
You chase
so
them and they disappear. They disappear into the like almost like they just kind of like converge on and then disappear into the frame of the closed door.
They're
Mm.
very good at hide and seek.
bap, 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 up against the door with my paws.
Mate's like, I got it, I got it. He woos up and he bangs his head against the door with the key out. He's got a mohawk that pops up back, and then the door pops open, and it makes a loud creak as it does so. And you see a dark room beyond. This one is not at all lit up like the room with the conveyors. It's very dark,
Okay.
Well, we
kind of like
saw
the room
how
you
the
just came.
last one
Do we
went,
hear anything in
so
here?
As you move into the room, if you listen carefully, you do
Hmm.
hear laughter occasionally, small childlike laughter.
Okay.
For Socks, this room isn't like the last one you were in. The darkness isn't so malleable and suffocating. It doesn't feel oppressive. It's just dark.
alright, then I'm gonna run around playfully. You know, the fox charming moves when you roll over and stuff.
Granted, if the Inklings, if these rooms feel differently, then that kind of means that one must be filled with the bogeys, and we probably should take care of those bogeys.
Let's take care of the Inklings first, because that's
Well,
the one she wants, but I
yes, but
agree.
we need to handle those bogeys. They need to be gone.
I
The
agree.
Inklings may not come out until the bogies are gone.
Yeah, they we may need to take care of the bogeys before the Inklings will come out because they may want to play, but they're being scared off by the bogeys.
Yeah, alright. That's logical. Um, let's go take care of the bogeys.
Okay. You hear the laughter kind of die down as you move away from the room that you have yet to explore. Uh, and as you move back towards the other room that you're starting to call, we'll call that the bogey room since that's kind of been designated by you guys as such. The door is shut again.
Again.
Maid hobbles over there. What's up with these doors? And he clicks it. It's funny, but when I open and shut a door, usually it stays open and shut. The door just click. And once again, you see into an oppressively dark room.
Alright, now this time I'm breaking out my key, which
All right.
is a unicorn USB 16 gigabyte key, um, data key with a little pokey horn on the end.
It's a USB key. That's
Yes.
great.
I actually have a picture of it. I'll bring it up
Okay,
sometime.
you guys know the moment the Sox pulls that key out that she is getting very serious. These are lethal weapons. Wittershin do not point the keys at other Wittershin without lethal intent.
I guess I'll pull my key out too.
If
My
we're gonna
key is
take
more of a
care of
shield, so I don't know that it would help.
if we're gonna take care of bogeys, we're gonna take care of bogeys.
But I will get some pebbles ready to um, throw as an implement of mass destruction.
Well, there was some like conversation intertwining there. I didn't hear what you said about your key, Cat.
Mine is more of a shield.
It's a shield. Well, all of your keys
Because
should be able to should all be able to do two stuff and damage, no matter what
oh,
they are. Yep.
okay.
So even if you decide other abilities for your keys through perks of your
Well,
role
because
or
it's
whatever, yeah, then
Oh,
it still does two stuff and damage. It
okay,
would be extremely lethal. That's extremely lethal force.
okay. Well, I will have my key prepared, but I also have my pebbles ready because they also do two stuff and when used as an implement of mass destruction.
Okay, so uh, you all carefully proceed into the
Hi,
titled
Patty.
bogey room.
They're
The
going to get
moment
stoned.
the moment you all enter the room, something happens. Let's see how observant your characters are. Everybody gets to roll a chance, just one single chance roll to notice this specific event.
29.
Just tell me success or failure because I'm not gonna track your individual.
Mine is a failure.
All right, there we go. All right,
I'm
that's
figuring
one
mine
success.
out right now.
So one success is all we really need. We need at least one of you to notice. Um, Drifter looks up, and there is something large and white descending on the group.
It's a ghost!
It looks like an extended fist, like a person fist.
Good idea to back away towards the wall, I think.
Drifter, for his
Yeah.
part, screamed and probably moved away. Everybody moves away. The
Yes.
fist slams into the ground with a loud crackle of noise and bounces a couple times, and you can see it's actually a very big uh, plastic arm that actually has an articulate elbow joint, and there's a line along just under the wrist that denotes that the fist can twirl around, but otherwise it was kind of molded into a fist, and the fist had hit the floor where you guys all had been, and it kind of clatters to the ground and just stays still.
Watch out for the legs.
Almost like it was thrown at us.
Almost.
Hmm.
I'm going to look around to see if I see those two legs that we saw earlier.
You look around and you don't see the legs anywhere.
But we know there's some rather
Okay, so we got legs. We've got
concerning
an
heads up
arm.
top.
If there's a flying butt, I'm out of here.
I knew you. I knew it, Anthony. I knew you were going to do that, man.
You know, I can't disappoint you.
All right. So, as you guys move in, nothing seems to happen right away. Though you do see a glimmer in the like across the room, past a series of shelves. There's this little red light that seems to blink on and off, on and off.
Maybe we should go to that towards that light.
I'm gonna scurry over towards it.
I'm not going towards the light. I'm not ready.
The light continues to flash as you move closer. As you get closer to it, you see a long, uh, circular tube that is black, looks kind of rubbery, and beyond it, you see a big red box attached to it with vents on the side. You see there's a handle
Ooh,
on the top,
I've
and
seen one of those before.
as you watch, as you get closer to it, the little red light stops flashing, and instead a little green light comes on, and you start to hear a
We need to get away from that thing.
as everyone watches, and Raindrops wisely says, "We should probably get away from this." You all feel a sudden suction in the air as you are drawn towards the big black tube as the leaf blower tries to draw you in. Everybody, what would you like to do? This is going to be a extended conflict. It is a three stuff conflict.
Is uh maid still in the bed?
Maid is we're gonna say Maid is standing behind the group, just out of reach of danger for some reason.
Well, he's
Okay.
he's the
Now
one that
I need
usually does crossbow with
He's also conveniently going to
Spring.
be totally unhelpful during the fight. It's crazy how
Crap.
that works out.
Yay.
Because I was
Um, I I leap on top of the leaf blower.
All right, you're going to attempt to jump on top of the leaf blower as it's attempting to inhale you. Go ahead and roll your chance.
All right. Let's see here. Checking something. Last time was. Um, and I failed.
Can I implement my house key to protect us from the wind of the leaf blower so that we are not impacted by it?
The house key, unfortunately, is only going to save you from environmental hazards, and this is really not an environmental hazard. This is
That's
something
why I
else.
okay.
asked.
Yeah.
Since I didn't go towards the light, how am I far enough away that I can actually kind of drive, kind of like when you're fighting a undertow, drive to the side and towards to break free?
Sure, sure. Go ahead and roll chance to see how well you do.
All right, so I succeeded on my last one, so I should be
Okay,
down.
and before I resolve that, Socks, what was your result again?
I failed.
You
60.
failed.
What do you
Okay.
call it?
Yeah,
67 of
I'm gonna do
40.
it all I'm gonna do it all at once. So that'd probably be the best way to do this.
And I'm grabbing towards I'm grabbing something. Whatever I can grab, I'm reaching out to
Okay,
grab.
you're trying to grab something. Is that a I just made it, Woo?
That's I just made it with a 41.
With a 4. So very good. We'll get to that. And let's see how Cat did.
Because I've got a plan.
Let's see how Cat did. Things went very wrong for Socks. I don't know if Cat's just cut out. Actually, I think she might have just lost her connection. So we're gonna have to actually just go with what happens with Socks and you for now until Cat can get her connection reestablished. So yeah, Socks. If it hadn't been for the fact that Drifter did so well, you would have been sucked into the leaf blower to whatever fate would have befalled you upon that happening. But Drifter managed to kind of drift toward, for lack of a better term, to the left of the leaf blower. And as he did so, he saw that you were going to get sucked in, so he grabbed a hold of you and pulled you to safety.
See, I've got a
Yay.
plan too.
You are now in the bed of his truck.
All right. What's the
I
plan?
I get a plus 10 with my block for ramming stuff, not out of combat, like for you know knocking down walls and stuff.
To your dismay, the leaf blower begins to turn to face you.
Crap! Gotta go
What would you,
faster.
what would you like to do for this part of the challenge?
Uh, am I ahead of the stream?
Well, we're going to say you managed to get far enough away from it that you're not being directly sucked in at the moment, but that could change depending on what you do.
All right.
I did pass. I don't know if you heard me say that before. My
Okay,
computer
so
rudely disconnected.
Raindrop grabs onto a nearby shelf, and her feet are like out in the air, and she's like, ah, she's just hanging on, and she's blowing like a flag in the wind, but she's holding on, and she's not getting sucked up. And as the leaf blower starts to turn to face Drifter, who's gotten closer to it, the air pressure on her diminishes, and she's able to put her feet back down.
Oh, okay. So this could work too. Um, I'm gonna yell.
Fox didn't
And
get stuck in it, did he? Did she?
The Sox got saved by Drifter. She almost got sucked in.
all right, I'm gonna try to distract the thing, and you hit the switch, and she froze.
Well, Sox is still in the back. She could help you.
That's true.
I
Well,
was
but
faster.
if it's following me as I turn, hopefully it'll put its back to.
Okay, Cat. So his suggestion was that he's going to distract the leaf blower so it blows his way, and then he's yelling out for Raindrop to run up from behind and turn it off.
Okay, I will try to do that. Is that a roll?
Uh, let's see. Maid could have been so helpful here. All right. So, oh wait, who's got the car key? You do. Okay. So you remember that your car key can start things that automate come to life for a minute. If it like you could have been the one to turn the leaf blower on.
Or off?
Wait, do you have a car key too?
I have a house key.
Okay. Hmm.
Okay, so the leaf blower is going to blow your way. So go ahead and roll chance for me, Anthony, to avoid having Drifter and
Oh my
Socks,
god.
who's now hanging on desperately and getting sucked into the leaf blower.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Ooh. 32. I needed
Oh,
22.
all right. Drifter is no longer able to shield himself and Socks, and they both get sucked into the leaf blower. A set of sharp implements inside start cutting into you. You both take 2 stuff worth of damage
Ow.
as you
Ow.
are viciously turned into sharp circles over and over again inside of it. There's a horrible clatter as the 2 objects go in, and you hear its whir change as into a high pitched whine as
Alright.
it's crowded with the two objects. And Raindrop, you are
And
able, without challenge, to run up and hit the off button.
okay,
But
that's what I'm gonna do.
nothing happens.
Can I
Crap.
poke
It
it
doesn't
for
turn
her?
off? Okay.
I
Well,
want
if it doesn't, um, if nothing, if it's still going, even though I've tried to turn off the off switch, are there any do I see any black cords or anything? Because like strings plugged
You
into the
do.
wall.
You see a black cord that just kind of ends nearby. It's not plugged in.
Okay.
Can
Then
Stab it.
I want
I
to
guess I'll
stab it.
stab it with my key.
Stab it with your key. That will require a chance roll. Go ahead for that.
Okay, let me see what I'm supposed to roll.
Can I stab it on the inside with mine?
Sure. Go ahead. You are in a great place to try to attack its internal parts.
Alright.
I'll do the same thing.
All right.
One.
I believe I put the extended conflict challenge at a 3 stuff.
Okay.
It is a spectacular failure.
All right. So that's not
And
going to really work.
it does not involve a 4, but it is still a spectacular failure.
All right. So Raindrop grabs her key overhead and she's like, ah! And she gets a little too excited though, and as she hits it, the key goes flying off to the side. She has to pick it back up again. Oops.
62.
Is that a
Is
pass or a fail?
that a pass or fail?
Um.
There you are right now.
You have a pass?
Okay. I'm looking back at that.
Yeah,
That was
remember
a
every time you
pass.
make a failure, you get to go up, and then
Fail.
every time you make a
That's a
success, you must go
pass.
down.
That's a fail. That's a
I would
fail.
keep track
Yep,
of all
I'm
you guys.
at. Yeah, I'm keeping track of them by the
Yeah, I
dice
would
rolls that
keep
are in the
track, but
log.
that would get really messy. So I'm just gonna
So
let you
yeah,
guys.
I would have been back up to 80 now. So I'm at 62 of 80 since the last roll was 40 of 67.
So
Excellent. That was a
pass.
pass. So you jam your key up into those parts. You can't even quite see. It's really dark in here, but you think you hit something. There's a sharp twang to the whir of the machine, and you've done some damage. If Drifter can also strike it, that will be the end. Did you hit? Catching on the opportunity that Sox has made is as her key stops the blade for just a moment. Drifter stabs his key even further into the device, and you hear a low pitched whine, and it goes still and quiet, and there's a brackish, oily smell in the air. You feel you've ruined this thing pretty well.
Yay! I'm happy about this.
I'm
I'm gonna
not. He scuffed my
start
paint job.
crawling out. Try to crawl out.
Mate says, "Good job, guys.
Where were you?
Go Team Dream."
Not like we had a
Oh,
choice, but at
you know
least keep
what?
at it.
Since we're probably gonna need it before this is over with, I'm gonna fly my flag.
All right. Your flag, I do believe, gives everybody the effect of a teamwork assist, which is a +5 to chance or increase of outcome. Which one are you going for?
Mm,
Oh, I don't hear you.
He's thinking.
Chance.
Chance. Okay. So it's going to be +5 to everybody, excluding yourself. But everybody is going to get the +5 to chance as if they had been helped, and it will stack with an actual teamwork assist. So you can actually potentially get a +10 out of a person for it. So he waves his flag and he's like, "We can do it!" And you all feel inspired. Made especially, he's like, "I can do it. I might not. I might sit out this time, but you guys got this."
I expect to do it. Hmm, okay, well, I'm pretty sure I've crawled out of there.
Don't worry, if you guys get in terrible peril, I will have Made jump in to save you. If he dies, I'll just have to tell Rolly I did my best. All right.
Oh, you gotta tell me that, even if you don't, just to see the look on his face.
Yeah, I already planned on doing that. Me like, oh, you didn't
Oh,
make it, bro. All right, so uh, you guys look around, and other than the terrible burnt smell in the air, it's very still and quiet in this room
Hmm.
is it still
for
heavy?
Sir, you guys.
for a few moments at least, and then you hear it, soft music.
Do,
It
do.
sounds kind of like the other music, but not so childish, not so light. It's more like it sounds kind of like ballroom music.
Hmm.
It's
It's
very
oh
soft, and this one isn't broken up. It's continuous.
oh
Oh God, we're
is
going
it
to get
like
killed by ballerinas.
tingy tiny or tingy tiny type like a music box? 'Cause that's
No, it doesn't sound tinny and small. It actually sounds it's quiet, like low, but it's
Like
it's
it's from a record
but
player,
it's
but
it's a louder speaker. It's bigger. You can hear that it's bigger.
okay. So everybody's out of the box. We're all looking a little bit beat up. Do we want to go towards that music?
I guess we need to.
yeah.
In for a penny, in for a pound.
You travel along the dark aisles of the bogey room, and you find it. It looks to be like the other box that you found with the clown in it that had the scissors. It's looks like a very large box, and at the top there's a strange black disc turning around, and there's a long arm with a needle pointed down at the disc, and it's playing music out of a speaker on the side.
I hop on top of it.
Okay, as you jump on top, you start spinning because the disc doesn't stop spinning. You just spin with it, um, and it probably trips you immediately because the arm of the uh, with the needle on it would probably trip your feet right up from under you, and you go tumbling off. And as it's playing, you feel like you can hear less of the music and more like there's a voice hidden in the words of the music.
What is it saying?
It's
Well,
saying, "Run."
Run.
You also hear the word "help."
Well, we've got to help.
Then you hear the word "big." And then you hear "behind you."
I knew that
And
was
that's where we're
coming.
gonna call it off today.
I knew that was coming.
You've got to have a cliffhanger for us.
You guys, it's not even gonna be a cliffhanger anymore. After a while, you guys are gonna be like, "It's coming. Here it is." Yeah,
It's like, it
I
seems like
already
it's
knew it
not
was
quite time
coming.
it's
for the cliffhanger.
As soon as the record player started talking, I'm like, oh, it's going to be behind.
all right. All right, everybody. So we're gonna call it here for today. I did mention before a game that we were gonna go ahead and talk about scheduling. I was planning on changing our schedule to make it a little bit more conformity for our group, since about half our group's having some trouble making the Tuesday Thursday. We're talking about switching it over to just Tuesday. Does that sound like it's
Okay.
good for everybody here right now?
Yes.
Good.
Yes, I
And I
would
kind of wanted to
be
say it
very
here so that
grateful for that.
everybody watching the recordings would also know that we're going to switch this to just one day a week, and that might make it a little easier for everybody to follow. Did anybody have any questions about the game first? Any questions? No. Okay. You all granted 3 chance points to put on your character sheets wherever you might wish. Also to be used for the creation of rituals or whatnot. Just get a hold of me if you want to do that. We've all read over the retrofitted rules, I believe, and I think
Hmm.
everybody's on the same page. So nobody had any questions about that, I hope. Uh,
Mhm.
concerning our undersider, I did want to mention to you for socks that because you have the undersider's wormkin, you actually don't have the silence thing that I kept saying about. So you stayed quiet when I said that, but I guess you knew that you didn't have the silence trick. Um, so that was one thing.
Hmm.
Uh, and then for our roamer, you have the ability to understand any human language, but the way that the rules are written that we've read now, it is going to change for the next adventure. For right now, we'll keep it as it is right now. Uh, she has the unique ability to speak to people and of any language that other Wittershin don't for now. But next adventure, we're going to change that. Wittershin will be able to understand all human language, and we'll give her something else. Ooh,
Mhm.
I cut out. Did
No,
I
you
cut out?
didn't.
All right,
You
No,
did
you were
not.
good.
okay, my screen froze up, so I thought I'd lost you. My computer might be about to go, so I'll go ahead and clip this short. Thank you everybody for your time, and I hope you enjoyed the game. And for those watching, also I hope you enjoyed the game. Have a good night and peace.
And we should be up on YouTube in about an hour. So tell everybody about it.
Okay.
Later.